The convenience store was alive with energy on a bright, sunny Saturday afternoon. Shoppers rushed in and out, arms weighed down with snacks, drinks, and the occasional lottery ticket. The parking lot bustled with activity, cars pulling in, people chatting, the beeping of shopping carts rolling over pavement. Right outside the store's entrance, an 8-year-old girl named Emma sat at a small folding table, her excitement shining as brightly as the sun overhead. The table was neatly arranged with stacks of cookie boxes, and a cheerful jar labeled "Donations Welcome" sat front and center. Colorful signs decorated the front, boldly reading, "Buy cookies. Help our school's sports program." Emma, wearing her soccer jersey with pride, flashed a bright, hopeful smile at every passerby, eager to make a sale. She wasn't just selling cookies. She was on a mission to raise money for new sports equipment for her school. Her coach had explained that every little bit helped, and Emma truly believed she could make a difference. But despite her enthusiasm, most people hurried past, barely sparing her a glance. Some smiled politely, but kept walking. Others were too wrapped up in their own errands to notice. Did it discourage her? Maybe a little. But Emma was determined. She knew that if she just kept trying, someone would stop and help. Inside the store, watching from the window, stood Kevin, one of the employees.
He was having a terrible day.
A string of rude customers, a tense argument with his manager, and just an overall lousy mood had left him irritated. Then his eyes landed on Emma sitting outside, and he groaned. "That kid is going to scare off customers," he muttered under his breath, rolling his eyes. His frustration bubbled over, and he stomped outside, his heavy steps echoing against the pavement. Towering over Emma, his shadow loomed. "Hey, kid," he snapped. "You can't set up here. This is private property. You're loitering." Emma's bright smile wavered, but she stayed polite. "I'm just selling cookies to help my school," she explained, her voice small but steady. Kevin scoffed. "I don't care what you're doing," he said sharply. "You're blocking the entrance, bothering customers. Pack it up and go somewhere else." Embarrassed, Emma's eyes welled up with tears. Her small hands trembled as she started gathering her cookie boxes, her enthusiasm crushed. Nearby shoppers slowed down, their gazes lingering on the scene, but no one stepped in. Kevin, arms crossed, looked satisfied. He thought he'd handled the problem. But just then, a towering figure entered the parking lot. Dressed casually in a t-shirt and jeans, he had an unmistakable presence. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson had stopped by for a quick errand while passing through town. But before stepping inside, his sharp eyes caught something: Emma, tearful and small, clutching her cookies. And Kevin, standing over her, looking smug. His warm expression shifted. Concern flickered across his face, then something firmer: determination. Dwayne strode forward, his powerful presence immediately commanding attention. His deep, steady voice cut through the air. "What's going on here?" Kevin turned, and the moment his eyes registered who was standing in front of him, his confidence crumbled. His bravado vanished. Nothing," he stammered, suddenly nervous. "Just asking this kid to move along. She's not supposed to be here." Dwayne glanced at Emma, who looked up at him with wide, tear-filled eyes, still clutching a cookie box. He knelt down to her level, his voice softening. "Hey there, what's your name?" "Emma," she whispered, her voice barely above a breath. Dwayne smiled gently. "Nice to meet you, Emma. What kind of cookies are you selling?" He glanced at the table, his tone light, as if nothing else in the world mattered but this conversation. Emma hesitated, then answered, "Chocolate chip, peanut butter, and oatmeal raisin." A small spark of hope returned to her voice. "I'm raising money for my school's sports program." Dwayne nodded thoughtfully, then turned back to Kevin. But now his expression was serious. "Is there a problem with her being here?" Kevin shifted uncomfortably. "Well, technically, she's loitering, and it's store policy." Dwayne stood to his full height, his towering frame making Kevin shrink back. "She's a kid trying to do something positive. And you think the best way to handle this is to yell at her?" His voice wasn't angry, just firm, steady, unshakable. Kevin swallowed hard. I didn't mean to yell. I just thought she was bothering customers. Dwayne crossed his arms, shaking his head. Bothering customers? She's out here smiling, being polite, trying to make a difference. If that bothers you, maybe you need to rethink how you see people. The gathered crowd, silent until now, suddenly murmured in agreement. Some nodded, others whispered about how unfair Kevin's behavior had been. A woman in the crowd spoke up. Yeah, she's just a kid trying to help her school. Kevin, now realizing he was the center of everyone's judgment, stammered. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset anyone. Dwayne turned back to Emma, his smile returning. Tell you what, Emma, how much for all the cookies you have? Emma's eyes widened. All of them. Dwayne grinned.
Yep.
All of them. I've got a lot of friends who love cookies. Emma quickly counted. $120 for everything, she said excitedly. Dwayne pulled out his wallet and handed her $200. Keep the change, he said with a wink. Use it for your school. Emma's face lit up with pure joy. Thank you so much, Mr. Johnson. Dwayne chuckled. You can call me Dwayne. The crowd erupted in applause. People stepped forward to buy the remaining cookies, each one eager to support Emma's cause. Kevin, now feeling the weight of his actions, muttered another apology before slipping back into the store. Before leaving, Dwayne knelt beside Emma once more. You're doing something really special here, he said. Don't let anyone discourage you, okay? Emma nodded, her confidence fully restored. I won't. Thank you. As Dwayne walked inside, a bystander snapped a photo of him and Emma, a picture of kindness, caught in a single moment. Later, that photo went viral. Millions of people saw it, praising both Emma's determination and Dwayne's kindness. Donations poured in for Emma's school fundraiser, far surpassing her original goal. Local businesses offered to sponsor the sports program, and strangers sent messages of encouragement.